We are at $5,000.40.
$5,000! Yes! Okay. How much time do we have left?
We have, let's see, we have 8 minutes.
8 minutes, okay. I can tell the rope dick story.
I will.
Go ahead. Okay. So when I was a kid, I was... He's like, yeah, he's like, hey, tell the fucking story, dude. He's like, what, we're not going to fight crime?
It's like, what the hell, man?
Just tell the story. Don't make me do this. He's like, really? I'm trying to catch a clown here. No. Okay, so when I was a kid, yeah, we'll let Manny Savage run around. Okay, when I was a kid, I was like second or third grade, and I had this friend. And this friend, he had, when he was a kid, when he was like much younger, he had been kicked in the head by a fucking horse, right? And so he had this plate in his head. This is totally true. He had this plate in his head, and you could see it in his forehead, this plate and the scar across it. And so he was an asshole. I mean, he was just an asshole. And
well, you would be too if you had a plate in your head.
well, yeah, but he always wore this batting helmet, right? And he would chew on the strap. So it was like just a fucking petri dish of shit. Just like he would chew on the strap all the time, but he wore the batting helmet so he wouldn't injure his head and die, right? And so we were playing out in the backyard. It was me and him and a couple of other friends and my little brothers. My little brothers at the time were like 4 years younger than us. So I think they were like 4 years old or something like that. And we were just playing war. We had like frisbees that were supposed to be bladed weapons and sticks and some toy guns and plastic swords and little toy bow and arrows. It was just like, yeah, we were just playing war and having this big battle. And we had a length of rope that was like for a whip before I actually got a bull whip. And you heard this?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you had. Oh, Brian's like, oh shit, I forgot about this. Okay, so and it was not Brian. His name was Ryan. Ryan Bush Tree. No. Yeah. So anyway, we had this length of rope, and Helmet Kid decides it's going to be funny to tie it around his dick. And when we were like second or third grade, right? He ties this rope around his dick, and then he's got the rope like hanging out of his pants, and he's like, "Look, it's I tied it around my pee-pee," And so my little brother, who's like 4, looks at it and grabs the rope and just pulls the hell out of it. I mean, just gives it a hard jerk. There's a moment of silence, and then Helmet Kid starts just screaming like bloody murder. And my brother thinks this is funny. He's like, oh, you pull a rope and it makes a sound. And so he starts swinging the kid around by his dick. And he's just like, like when you hold little kids by the wrists and you like spin around and swing. He's doing this to Helmet Kid. And the kid's just like waving his arms in the air, just, stop it! Just screaming and crying and snot and tears flying everywhere. My mother hears the clamor and she comes outside. She's like, what is going on? And I have to explain to my mom, James. We'll okay. We'll edit that out in post.
There is no post.
There is no post.
I know. So he says, I have to explain. He tied it around his thing, and my mom just like, she's trying not to laugh. She's like, Jay, don't do that. Just untie it and pull that off right now. And then she just goes back inside, and he looks down. He goes, it's bleeding.
Oh.
I can't get it off. It's purple. And my mom won't help him. She's like, no. And so finally he gets it off and he walks home crying, just holding his package. So that's the rope dick story.
You all paid.
That's the $5,000 story right there.
Every penny.
Yeah.
I shudder to think where we're gonna hit at 6,000.
My brother, he just after my mom told him to stop, he was like, all right, whatever. Just walked off.
Wow.
I need to call him. See
if there's a rope touching it.
I just want to. Yeah. I think that's.
Life hates this kid.
It's like a Dutch rudder, but not quite. But yeah, true story. I gotta call my brother to see if he remembers that. It's, hey, remember when you nearly pulled that kid's dick off? Good times. That was, God, it was good being a kid.
That's the moral of that story.
What is the moral, Jeff? What is the moral?
Don't
tie a rope to your dick.
Well, that's
Obviously.
Well, that's
well. I mean,
that's
if you're gonna be go the obvious route.
yeah. That's what's wrong with you?
Okay. John,
Yes,
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson.
I want,
Again,
she says, "I want you to tie a rope around your dick."
no. That's a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker. Oh, fine.
Look, I don't want anything to happen to my dick
You are
other than sex
Pleasure?
and pleasure.
other than sex
stuff.
and pleasure. All right, fine. Let's get Randy in here to talk about catheters. I bet he could do it. I bet he could put a Lego thing in his dick.
I
Is he still here? Randy!
Randy, run!
Randy, come here! Don't
Get out of here while you still can, Randy.
I have a catheter question, Randy.
Oh, God.
Randy probably hears that tone of my voice. He's like, I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there.
Are they saying my name?